Good morning, and thank you for watching the June 3rd City of Janesville COVID-19 Community Briefing. This briefing is provided each Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. My name is Brian Schweigel, and I'm the Planning Section Chief for this operational period. We'll begin this morning by reviewing the incident objectives for the city's COVID-19 response. First, safeguard the community, including our residents, businesses, and visitors. Second, deter the spread of COVID-19 within our capabilities. Third, provide essential services to the community. And fourth, safeguard City of Janesville employees and preserve our city service power. We'll now hear from other members of the EOC leadership team, beginning with our Situation Unit Leader, Maggie Dar.
Thank you, Brian, and good morning, everyone. I'm Maggie Dar, Situation Unit Leader for this event. As of yesterday, Tuesday, June 2nd, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services reported that there are 18,917 confirmed positive cases of COVID-19 in the state of Wisconsin. There are 646 confirmed positive cases in Rock County, and we are up to 19 deaths in Rock County, which is an increase of 3 from my report last Wednesday. Overall, the positive test rate, meaning out of all of the tests that have been given in the county to date, 6.7% of those have come back positive, which is a pretty substantial decrease from my report last Wednesday, and demonstrates the increased testing that's been happening in the county recently. One service change to report is that our library has reopened as of June 1st. So please visit hedbergpubliclibrary.org for updated hours as well as new restrictions at the library, but you are able to use that service again. We're continuing to keep in close contact with all of our partners, including the county's public health department, as they continue to evaluate and move through the different phases of their recommended reopening plan. In fact, tomorrow, June 4th, Rock County Public Health Department plans to release a new set of data showing the last 14 days worth of data regarding COVID-19 and provide guidance on what phase of the reopening plan we are in. So thank you to all of the business owners who are following the county's guidance while getting back to work. We really appreciate you doing the more difficult but the right thing for the community. Thank you.
Thanks, Maggie. Next is Economic Development Director, Gail Price.
Good morning, Janesville. Economic Development Director Gail Price. A reminder that all of our COVID-19 recovery information can be found at the growjanesville.com website. Go to the link at the top, the banner, and click on that, and that will take you to the page. As Ms. Dar mentioned, we are currently in phase 1 of the Rock County phased reopening plan, and those are recommendations. 25% occupancies for restaurants, groups of 10 or fewer gathering, and tomorrow's the evaluation day. And if the metrics all move in a positive manner, possible to move to 50% occupancy in groups of 50 or less. So again, as Maggie had said, just thank you to the businesses that are following these guidelines and helping Rock County move forward in a positive way with battling COVID-19. We've got additional resources we're adding to the recovery page. The City of Janesville loan application for the small business loan program will be added today. We'll have those guidelines out and available for submission. As we mentioned last Wednesday, WEDC is creating a program called the We're All In Small Business Grant Program. That will be $2,500 grants for businesses 20 or fewer employees that had at least been in operation at the beginning of the year through February. Their hope is to help 30,000 small businesses around Wisconsin. They will take applications starting 8 a.m. Monday, June 15th. So the WEDC program, Monday, June 15th. As soon as we have those bits of information, we're going to add those to the city website so that you can look at that and what the expectations are of their program. The Rock County Small Business Loan Fund is still out there and available, and you can link through our website to apply for that. Most businesses have reopened in some form. We encourage you to check with your favorite businesses to see what guidelines they are following. They may have some special requirements, like requiring you to wear a mask and have a lower occupant load and not bring your children to the business. So again, encourage you, contact your business before you go there to patronize them. Again, we want to remind you, small business is important to the community, and when you spend local, that money continues to recirculate in the community, and that helps our recovery that much faster. If you got any questions about any of the programs or the information on our site, please give the Economic Development Office a call, 608-755-3059. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. Next is Public Information Officer Molly Nolte.
Thanks, Brian. Good morning. I'm Public Information Officer Molly Nolte. To stay up to date on important City of Janesville news and information, please check in often at the city's website. You can also follow us on social media, that's Facebook and Twitter. And a great way to stay connected to the City of Janesville is to sign up for our press release emails. You can do so by visiting our website, which is www.ci.janesville.wy.us/email lists. You can also get COVID-specific information on the city's website. It's that same website /COVID-19. You can find links to local, regional, and state resources, including business reopening guidelines, which both Maggie and Gail mentioned. We also have a link to our economic development website, frequently asked questions, safety information from the CDC, and there's much more on there. The City of Janesville will continue to get its information from trusted sources like the Center for Disease Control, Wisconsin Department of Health Services, and we recommend that our residents do the same. While this morning briefing will only be held on Wednesdays going forward, our community support hotline is still staffed Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that phone number is 608-373-6027, and our 211 is a regional resource, and that's always available 24/7. Please continue to share this information with your family and your friends, community groups, social networks, and anyone else who may benefit. And be sure to use our social media hashtags. They're hashtag Janesville Strong, hashtag One Positive Thing, and hashtag Spend Local. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Next is Finance Administration Section Chief Steve Waniger.
Good morning. Steve Waniger, Finance and Admin Section Chief. The EOC Finance and Admin Section is documenting all personnel and operating expenses related to the city's COVID-19 pandemic response for potential reimbursement from the Federal Emergency Management Agency Public Assistance Program. The FEMA program reimburses 75% of eligible assistance expenses, while the state has agreed to reimburse 12.5% of eligible assistance expenses. The EOC response team has logged 7,596 hours to date, and we have captured expenditures of $1,060,900.69. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Next is Safety Officer Captain John McManus.
Good morning, everyone. Captain McManus, Safety Unit. Our safety advice has been very consistent since the beginning of this incident. As businesses open up and we start to encounter more and more people out in public, this safety advice becomes more important. So we want to continue to emphasize washing your hands often with soap and water, especially after you've been in a public place. If soap and water aren't readily available, use hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. We still need to avoid close contact with people who are sick and create a space between each other at least 6 feet when we're outside our homes. Continue to formulate and review your plans for the incidents if somebody gets sick in your household. The CDC continues to recommend wearing a cloth face coverings in public settings where other social distancing measures are difficult, like the grocery store. These simple face coverings are part of a system to slow the spread of the virus by helping people who may have the virus and do not know it from transmitting it to others. The cloth face coverings recommended are not surgical masks, nor are they N95 respirators. These remain critical supplies that must continue to be reserved for healthcare workers and other medical first responders as recommended by current CDC guidance. When you choose to wear a fabric, non-standard mask, or any other mask in public, please continue to maintain that 6 feet of social distancing. As always, your workspaces and your residences should be thoroughly cleaned daily with EPA-approved cleaners, and high-touch surfaces should be cleaned with a higher frequency. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Next is Deputy Incident Commander, Deputy Fire Chief James Ponkauskas.
Good morning, Deputy Chief Ponkauskas, Deputy Incident Commander for the city's COVID response. I will be filling in for Chief Rhodes this week as he is taking a much-needed vacation. With the community opening up over a week ago, we would like to recommend everybody to follow some very important guidelines. As you hear in these briefings, a lot of information gets repeated and it's very important to us. If you feel sick, stay home. We recommend if you go out in public, like Captain McManus explained, wear a cloth face covering, monitor and practice social distancing, and wash your hands often, especially when going out in public. If you have any questions or need information, don't hesitate to call the Community Information Hotline at area code 608-373-6027. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, Chief. Next is City Manager Mark Freitag.
Thank you, Brian, and good morning, City of Janesville EOC members, certainly the City of Janesville team, and then to all those members of the community that are either listening or tuned in and watching this morning. First of all, I just want to say it's exciting to see the community starting to reopen. We're excited to see businesses reopening and getting, our economic engine turning back on here in Janesville. It's exciting, and I just want to say thank you to the businesses for following the guidelines and operating within those recommendations for a safe reopening, because I will remind the community that COVID-19 is still in our community. It's still a threat, and you just can't discount it. And so, as has been discussed previously in this briefing, please, please, please follow those safety guidelines and those simple things like wearing a mask when you're in public to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in our community. If you're unsure about getting out into the community, don't rush. You don't have to get out if you don't want to. If you're comfortable, then get out and begin to return to some sense of normalcy for yourself. But do it because you're comfortable doing so. I do want to just highlight one thing that we had a great effort here by our United Way Blackhawk region. They essentially gathered volunteers and produced simple cloth face masks. The group that did it were called the So Connected Mask Warriors. And I want to just say thank you to the United Way Blackhawk region for championing and leading that effort. They were good partners, certainly with the city. We want to say thanks to those volunteers for all the work that they did in sewing masks and getting them distributed. But just some data points. 4,500 free masks were sewn and distributed here in the area. 100 plus seamstresses and volunteers assisted in the production of those masks. 45 organizations received masks, and there were 4 free curbside public distributions within the city of Janesville here for mask distribution. And so, when you have community support like that and community partners like that, it's frankly very, very hard to fail. And so we appreciate the work that the United Way Blackhawk region is doing, and we certainly appreciate the work that this community is doing to combat the spread of COVID-19 in our community. As was mentioned earlier in the brief, tomorrow, Thursday, Rock County is going to provide us our new metrics for kind of where we're at in our response. And so we look forward to receiving those. They're going to tell us whether we're improving, whether we're kind of staying flat and level, or whether things are getting worse. And so certainly our hopes and our prayers are that things are getting better. As soon as the city gets that information, we'll make sure that we push that information out over our social media and press outlets, because I think it's important for the community to know where we're at 2 weeks after Safer at Home has been terminated. And so, as always, folks, we're going to stand tall, stand firm, stand together, because we are Janesville strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. This has been the June 3rd City of Janesville COVID-19 Community Briefing. The community briefing is provided each Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Thank you for watching.
Okay, I believe we're all here. Brian, did you want to do roll call?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Luckett,
Here.
Maas,
Here.
Stephenson,
Yes.
Udell,
Here.
Wood, Douglas.
Here.
5 present. We have a quorum.
Perfect. So call the meeting to order at 5 p.m. Are there any comments from the public to be shared?
No, there are not.
Okay. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes from the May 19, 2020 regular meeting? And if so, is there a motion?
Made a motion to approve.
So we have a first, we have a second. Thank you, Bob.
I'll second.
Thank you, Andy. Anyone opposed to this? The ayes carry. Number 5, the review of certificate of appropriateness 2020-02 for the property located at 120 South Division Street. Andy Udell and Tim Watts reviewed this. Andy, do you want to give a little bit of an update on this, or do you want me to jump in? How would you like to proceed?
No, I can do it, and then if you want to add anything in, that's fine.
Thank you.
But if you're looking at your screens right now, the homeowner, you see those black lines in gate 1, gate 2. The homeowner wants to put a 4-foot fence in, those black lines, that matches the existing fencing that the neighbors had both put up. One is on that, I guess it'd be the westerly line that way, kind of facing down and to the left. And another smaller section with the Lovejoy mansion there. So they want to replicate that one. Just a small section of fencing, nothing in the front yard, but it's going to be that French Gothic picket to match the other ones. It's going to be unpainted, is what their plan was. I believe, Tim, originally they were going to do a 6-foot section. Do you recall where that was going to be at?
Yeah, so they were going to, where gate 2 is that line there. They were going to do a larger section to create a small patio area. There's a side door off of the house there. As you can see by the property lines, there's really no rear yard there. So they're trying to utilize the side space for that.
Yeah, I can tell this couple, they've come to the Historic Commission before, done everything they've asked, they've done a good job that way. I have no reason to believe they won't this time. Like I said, it matches with the neighboring properties with fences they put up. So I think I'm definitely in favor of it. But
I would agree.
You guys may have.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with what Andy's saying. It was, they really do care about the place. That's the fencing style that's going to match the other fences that are adjacent to or on the property. So it's a pretty simple thing. They're also on that taller section. There may be setback requirements that they know that they may have to work within the city, with Ricky from the city on where they might have to do potentially a see-through fence like this versus a solid fence. So they're willing to do all of that and comply with whatever the rules are. So. Why don't we go around the table? Bob, do you have any comments or questions?
No, I think I understand it.
Jeff?
Yeah, that sounds fine with me.
Okay. Alan?
No problem here. It seems to fit right with the neighborhood.
Okay. Okay. So, Andy, would you like to make a motion?
Yeah, I would move to make the motion to grant the certificate of appropriateness for, let me find the address here, 120 South Division Street to install the French Gothic picket fence on the two sides of the property.
And I'll second that. So anyone opposed to that motion? Silence is, the motion is passed. So they'll be called tomorrow, Brian, and informed that they can get their building permit.
Yes, Tara Barnett from our office will follow up with them either by phone or email to inform them of the commission's action. There's also it'll be after the fact, but there's also a letter, a notice of historic commission action that goes out. But in the interest of expediting the information to them, we will call or email.
Very good. Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 6 on the agenda is Historic Commission announcements. And just a reminder that announcements are limited to member activities, memorials, and non-political community events. Discussion of matters related to any governmental business is prohibited. We'll go down the list again. Bob, do you have anything?
No, I do not.
Jeff?
No, I don't have anything.
Alan?
Nothing at this time.
Andy?
No, nothing from me.
I have nothing either. Brian, do you have anything to share?
I have three quick things. First was that everyone should have received an email message from Tara Barnett in our office yesterday on Monday. Council Policy 88, that's the city's kind of code of conduct for our boards and commissions, has been updated, and so the city manager's office has requested that all of our members read through that and then sign the acknowledgement form on the last page and return that to us. If you have any questions about that, feel free to call or email myself or Tara. Second, the City Council is scheduled to appoint our new Historic Commission member on June 22nd. If the appointment is made on that date, if the new member's first meeting date would be July 7th, our first meeting in July. The individual that's been nominated by the City Council President, his name is Dustin Lund, and he works in traffic management in the operations division here at the city. Lastly, we have received notice that the Oak Hill Chapel project was not selected for a Wisconsin Historical Society 2020 Historic Preservation Award. We received that letter from the state. In the letter, though, in addition to letting us know that it hadn't been selected, they did encourage us to consider submitting a project in 2021. So that's something that the group will be able to consider, I think, next spring. Lastly, I did inform the Friends of the Oak Hill Chapel through Richard Snyder earlier this afternoon that we had heard back from the state. And that's all I have.
Okay.
Brian, did they say, Brian,
Yes.
did they say who did get it in the state of Wisconsin? Like what area?
The letter did not say that, and I haven't looked at the website. I'm not sure whether that announcement has been made or not. I have to do some digging online to see if that's been made public.
Oh. Yeah, not a big deal. I was just curious.
That's a good question.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Number 7, our next regular meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 16th, 2020. Unless there's anything else, I would accept the motion to adjourn. Thank you, Bob. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Andy. So we have a motion and a second. Anyone opposed? Okay, well, this I think is on record the quickest meeting we've ever had. We were at a 12-minute record before, so here we are at 9 minutes. So, Alan, do you have any kind of feedback on the feedback we're getting over the phone? It seems to have improved a bit, but there still seems to be some feedback.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's, since people are closer to the phone, there's not as much of an issue. I would recommend, though, that when people are not talking, to mute their microphone. It just makes it for a cleaner meeting.
Thank you for that clarification. I appreciate it. Okay. Thanks for pulling this together, Brian.
No problem.
Do we have any other docket review for between now and the 16th of June that you're aware of?
We have had at least a couple inquiries that have been made. I apologize, but I don't know for sure. I know there have been at least a couple inquiries made about what the process entails. So it's possible that we may have one or more reviews, but anyone in the group can correct me if I'm wrong. Tara would have assigned project reviewers by this point if we had gotten any, but I don't recall having seen any come across.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you very much. Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, that's okay.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.